there we go.
Are we on?
We is.
Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. I'm Kevin. That's my hetero life mate, Brandon.
Evening.
We, you guys might have noticed, like, wait a minute, where was last week's podcast? Where was the 1-7 or 1-8 podcast? It's
I think this is 7.
No, the 1-8, the date.
Oh, okay,
yeah, January 7, January 8. You might be wondering, I'm a completionist, and I didn't seem to find that one on the YouTube channel here. Well, there's a reason behind it, because Kevin got a little drunk on Friday.
And I nearly died in Vegas. So.
We were wanting to give a full recap of Brandon's visit to Vegas, and it just didn't come together. And then Saturday got hectic. So that being the case, you folks are going to get like a double barrel one. And you're saying, ooh, I'm going to get a double length podcast? No, you're not. You're just going to get double the content. The content will be twice as good as usual.
That's right. None of this idle banter bullshit. Nothing but the facts. Nothing but the topics, friends.
I have a weird feeling it's probably going to be double the bullshit this week, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of it built up.
We come together to talk about 3 of our favorite topics, Mead, Metal, and MMA. We'll start with Mead. We're working on we racked a couple of batches, bottled them up last week of December, so that way we could still placard that thing with 2016. A lot of you might be wondering, okay, so that's available for sale. No, it's not yet. They're still sitting, and frankly, and that's doing everybody a big favor anyway, because the longer the mead sits, the better it gets. Within degrees.
I mean, they're just basically naked right now, but they'll have the clothes on soon.
Yeah, we're going to label those, put shrinks on them, and have them available for all of our fans and donators out there.
By the way, the Troublemaker is fucking amazing.
You know, that's one thing I've got to do, because I haven't sampled a full bottle yet. I mean, we pull like little quick samples and things like that. Brandon's the one that goes and utilizes it in the way that one would if one were to want to get a little liquored up.
Well, I've never had like a quarter of a bottle of Troublemaker left the next day.
Usually it's a matter of pulling it out of the case box and saying, I'm going to need this tonight.
Well, like I said, it's all about quality assurance. I'm not doing it because I enjoy it. I'm doing it because it's my job.
It just happens to be his favorite batch.
And it's my favorite job.
Yeah, all right. But nonetheless, though, the Troublemaker is going to be pretty keen. I'm actually shocked. I think the batch 1 might be kind of a show stealer to some degree.
I think it tastes so close to what that first batch actually was.
Our very first batch we have ever done, we'd called it our batch 1, obviously.
Because we lacked creativity.
Yeah, the very first batch. It's like, this is the first and maybe final batch we'll ever do. But it worked out, and then we actually did another batch 1 generation, I want to say probably fall of 2015. And but we did it with that weird Sonoran honey.
The same honey we did the Scarborough Fair herbal mead with.
Which did favors for Scarborough Fair, but did no favors to the batch 1.
And really, 5 months later, it was okay.
The Scarborough Fair?
Yeah.
No, the batch 1.
Batch 1, it nearly just went clear.
It went thin.
It went clear, thin, and effervescent.
So, so this one, we wanted to go back to our roots and do a batch 1. And I was a little hesitant because this Wyoming honey that we utilized turned out being really, really sweet. Yeah. And I thought, man, it's going to make a mead that, granted, honey is sweet in general, but we do some very savory batches, really, when it comes down to it. Well, this one with really just a pure D47 yeast utilization and the Wyoming honey that we utilized from the Wind River Valley. And I think we utilized our own water here in Pinellas, I think is what it was. We didn't use any store-bought stuff. That alone came together, and that stuff smells like hard liquor.
Yeah, it's very boozy, not unpleasantly boozy. You know, it doesn't taste like a cheap wine booze.
No, I think it's one that if it sits around for a while, I'm okay with it. I'm all right with it. You know, but we'll have both of those cases ready for our donors.
And I will be sending a bottle to our friends in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, the beer and board games people.
Yes, that happens to be one of the guys' favorite batches that we sent last year.
Aaron, right?
Yeah, Aaron Yonda of Beer and Board Games and Chad Vader fame. And as soon as we get that good-looking bottle dressed up, I'm going to send it out in the mail to him to have either for the show just to enjoy.
probably, yeah, just enjoy. I mean, because here's the problem, is because if they do it around a beer and board games thing, then people are hitting us saying, hey, we'd like to check out your mead, and we can't legally sell it because we're not legal within the state of New Mexico.
We're just everyone's good friends. We give it away for nothing.
Well, now that's the flip side, too, is that basically, you know, if you want to donate to our band project, Season of Woe, and want to throw us like $5 or $10 over PayPal, you can hit us up on our Facebook page how to do that. I'll send you some of our jam, and if you want to go like say 20 or 30, maybe we can work out something for the mead. But I don't know. That's there are certain legal workarounds we have in place.
It's called spitball in the future.
So anyway, that's the mead update for the week.
And I did get to enjoy Troublemaker in Vegas.
In Vegas,
while perusing the strip with a good friend. It was probably the best mead drinking experience I've ever had.
Why do I have this weird vision of you walking down the strip, bottle in hand, stopping about every 20 feet and slugging one back?
No. See, you got me all wrong, brother. You got me all wrong. Went to Fat Tuesdays, got one of them 50-ounce frozen margaritas, dumped that shit in the garbage can, and just filled it with mead.
You gotta be kidding me. All right, well, good on you, because I guess it travels well.
It travels very well. It's enjoyed in Colorado. It's been enjoyed in Wisconsin. Now it's been enjoyed in Nevada. We're reaching out, people. We're reaching out.
What I want to do, and I know we have a superior product. I do. I have every faith in the product we have. Is exactly. It is what would be demanded of folks 1,000 years ago.
Well, my problem with meat on the market today is just too sweet. Too sweet, too thick. It's sickeningly sweet. It feels like you're drinking Baron yogurt.
But I do want to go ahead and check out Grimfrost and see what they have. I want to check out what
they have meads. I don't think they have a distributor yet for the States, but they do make 3 kinds of mead.
I think they do. I think you can actually order it now. I want to check out that. Part of my goal in 2017, I want to check out other meads.
Sure.
I would recommend to anybody that's in the Western United States, if you ever get up to Denver, actually Boulder, technically, but I mean, if you're going to be in the Denver area, go to Boulder, go to Redstone Meadery. They've got about 20 different meads for you to check out. The tour is cheap, and and the tasting's cheap. The tour is free. The tasting's cheap, and you can check out what they have going on. I like some of their stuff, not all of it, because some of it they do. You can tell that there's this trend of people want to take something that's really good and adding too much to it. But they do have other ones that are kind of stripped down, kind of like what we're trying to do, and try to get to the basis of what mead really is. But anyway, God, we spent 7 minutes talking about mead.
I know, the one thing we didn't think we'd talk about at all.
No. All right, let's move on to metal. Interestingly, you had a great experience in Vegas to kind of fill this segment.
Yeah, Wednesday, the last day we were in Vegas, was our Fremont day. Decided to go take in the Fremont experience. Go check out that seedy part of town. Because I don't know if people realize, if you've been to Vegas, then yes, you realize it. Fremont's in a shitty part of town.
Sure. No, absolutely.
It's in a very shitty part of town.
Back in the old days, that was kind of where everything was hopping, but now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you see the Plaza Hotel, and you're like, I know that hotel. I mean, the first time I saw it was Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. When the kid goes to Vegas and just starts tearing shit apart when he's like fucking 50 feet tall.
There's was it Casino? There's a movie from the 70s actually that has a Plaza Hotel in it. Yeah.
I mean, Fremont has all your really well. It's got Binion's, where the World Series of Poker was born. The actual Fremont place, Golden Nugget, Glitter Gulch. But walking down Fremont, they have little circular areas littered all down the street for performers of varying sorts. There was a man dressed up as Marilyn Monroe, wanting money to give people lap dances. I don't know how well he did.
God, really?
As we were walking by.
Come on, Brandon, you didn't sample the goods.
Well, see, as we were walking by, I believe this Marilyn Monroe man flashed my friend as junk.
It's a man.
Well, if the huge minging-ass beard didn't give it away, the peanuts and balls will. And then all of a sudden I hear fucking Talk Dirty to me. And like a really,
Poison.
Really good version too. I'm like, is fucking Poison playing at Fremont?
Well, we hadn't heard about him in a while.
I rushed past the homeless guy with the fuck you sign and tips on the other side, which I gave him $1. I appreciated his candor and his moxie.
Sure.
There was actually a military guy there that was just saluting, wasn't moving, didn't say anything. He's like, you can come up and take pictures for nothing. He was just doing it for the awesomeness of the military, I guess.
Wow.
I'm sure there was a message behind it, but he was just standing there saluting.
Okay.
People would go up and take pictures, and he'd still be doing it, and people throw money in the bucket. It was a good time. But we make around to the center part of Fremont where the stage is, and it was basically probably the greatest 80s hair metal cover band I've ever heard in my life. I'm sure Vegas has lots of them, though.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
First one I ever heard where I was like, holy fuck, that sounds like Poison. Of course, you see them, and you realize they're all middle-aged dudes wearing wigs, looking like Twisted Sister after a hard
kind of like you and I would look if we were doing the same shit.
Yeah. So. Well, I feel like we'd give a little more credence to the issue. But yeah, so basically got to sit there and enjoy some live music before my friend had enough, and then Chippendales dancers later, and a guy moving his body through tennis rackets from like top to bottom. You seen that shit before?
I like the way that you guys really hit the culture of Las Vegas instead of the tourist trip.
Oh, no, fuck that shit. No, I mean, you can go to Vegas and do the casino thing and do that all you want. You want to go really experience Vegas, go to Fremont on a weekday at like 9 o'clock when the steak and lobster special's kicking hot.
Right. Yeah, no, that's good on you.
My friend
I'm proud of you for not like going like to Caesar's Palace and taking a bunch of weird selfies and shit like that.
I only took 5 pictures while I was gone.
Okay.
Only 5, because I realized that the last 2 times I went, my friend Jeremy went with us, and he took all the pictures. Like, I have like 400 fucking Vegas pictures. Come back now, I have 5. And 3 of them are useless. But went and did all that. But I think going and seeing what Vegas really is, you go to Fremont.
Not a bad recommendation. Hey, yeah. you could be like one of these like travel writers and shit.
Well, if I can tell you what, I'd love to go down there and be one of them people who be like, hey, you going to be in Vegas tomorrow? How would you like a whole bunch of free shit for just maybe 2 hours of your time? Check out these condos. I mean, they're dicks.
You get that. Yeah, and then you'd be like the ones that are like handing out like literature on the strip and stuff.
No, I think that's when you've fallen too low. They wear fucking back things now, like back billboards. Where if
like a sandwich board?
Yeah, like a one-sided sandwich board on your back.
Oh, wow.
Where if you get a stiff breeze, your ass is going down. All it is just one big wind resistance.
And are these people that were kind of the shitty 80s cover bands that couldn't make it on Fremont?
That's right. They don't know how to play guitar.
Well, I'm glad you had a good trip to Vegas.
I'm glad I didn't die, much to the chagrin of a lot of people in my life, I'm sure.
Anything else we got on the metal segment?
I listen to it every day.
I think we have, I know there's some concern we talked about. We're going to try to get a cover tune. We were going to crank it out. We're going to expedite it before Christmas. When it turned out we weren't going to be able to get it done before Christmas, now it's like, all right, well, let's sit back, do it right. We will get it out soon. It's a cover tune from the, what was that, the late 80s. And I don't want to give too much of it away. It is going to be a doom metal cover. So those of you that aren't up to chops on your doom metal, it's going to be sludgy. It's not going to be an effort to necessarily pay homage to the song itself. I think it'll just fit right. So
yeah,
we have all the rhythm parts, and it's just a matter of guitar parts, vocals, things like that. So I wanted to make sure Brandon had a righteous time out in Las Vegas before we come back. And hey, man, I need you to belt.
It's all right. Now I got enough material to start writing our own shit.
Well, and that's the next step. And I'm dealing with some weird noise issues coming off of one pedal, having to do with the amp, and it may be a pedal that we only use for recording anyway.
True. That is very true.
So I don't know. I'm going to mess with it. I don't want to buy more gear to try to silence some gear. That's kind of where I'm at. There are some options we've got, but I'm gonna work on it because I'm just getting a really loud noise coming in from this EHX pedal through the Marshall, and we'll try to figure something out. That's it, kind of for the Mead part, the metal part. We move into the MMA part. We've got about 8 or 9 minutes.
Not a whole lot has happened since the last time we talked.
Which is the interesting thing, because
I was being 100% facetious. Everything has happened.
Your visit to Las Vegas was kind of the tie-in for us to go and segue from piece to piece.
The MGM Grand still smelled of sadness, by the way.
Because you missed UFC 207, because you got there, a day or two after?
2 days.
And then you left before the Consumer Electronics Show?
Yeah. No, actually, day one was starting because my room at the Stratosphere jumped from $31 a night to $112.
Holy shit! Yeah. Well,
so I think it's either it started that day or that's when everyone's showing up. A lot of people wearing lanyards in Vegas that weekend.
Yeah. I don't want to talk a bunch about 207, but one thing does bother me to some extent, and a lot of it has to do with social media. And social media is really my biggest pet peeve these days because every jackass that jumps on there becomes an immediate expert.
Yep.
And we don't try to play off like we're experts. You know,
we're fans.
We made some picks. I thought that Ronda Rousey was going to come out and have a good showing, and she didn't. Because here's why: she came out and had the exact same game plan for Amanda Nunes that she did for Holly Holm, and that's not on Ronda though. That's on Edmund Taverdi.
Well, I think at the end of the day, ultimately, it is on Ronda.
Well, you are the fighter. I mean, you keep the trainers and the coaches you have, that is ultimately on you. Yes, you're right. I don't know what her plan was. She looked terrible backing up and taking a whole bunch of fists to the face.
Well, no, she looked great getting punched in the mouth. I mean, that was textbook, but it was that no changes were made whatsoever.
And unfortunately, the biggest change that should have been made should have been Taverdian.
Well, this might be you think it might be too late for Tarverdian to be kicked off to the side and Rousey maybe find a different home and come back?
I don't know that she will. See, now, and then she got Travis Brown wrapped up into using him as well. Travis Brown went from being maybe one of the most dominant heavyweights initially. He
didn't move like a heavyweight. He moved.
The initial blush was the guy he had movement to him, head was never on center, always throwing the overhand when it needed to be thrown, looking for takedowns.
Right.
The guy had a dominant game. Everybody thought Travis Brown was destined for the heavyweight belt. And then he left his first camp, went to Albuquerque to Jackson, and for some reason had an issue with them, started messing around with Ronda. This is from the timeline I gather. That's from Brendan Schaub and other podcasts that are out there. And then went out there to Taverdian's tutelage. And ever since then, the guy is what, 2 and 3 since he's been under that particular regime. Edmund Taverdian can make you a worse fighter. Apparently, that's his skill. Is he can make you you can go from a great fighter to an okay fighter in the space of a couple of camps.
It's a career killer. The man's a career killer, and he's killed he's killed one huge career in Ronda Rousey, I think. Travis Brown, thankfully, since not really a whole lot of people give him a lot of thought, that dude could bail and go somewhere else and get back to where he was.
The potential he had, I don't know. It's scary how great Travis Brown could have been. And I'd said, after that loss to Holly Holm, what was the first thing I told you, Brandon? I said, man, this guy needs to go to she needs to go to TriStar, get with Rasa Hobby, and get some really good training there. Get back to what it was winning all these fights and make her the most dominant woman fighter ever that the world's ever known. No, she stayed with Edmund.
Well, see, the whole judo thing, though, it got to a point where it was the same thing every time, to a point where it's like, okay, she comes in with that left hand, clenches you, throws you down to the ground, breaks your arm. Now people are fucking ready for that. She's got to rely more on her judo, or rely less on her judo, and get that striking game back up to par. I don't
like the striking. I think she needed to probably look into some different things of having to do with takedown. She needed to get more wrestling training, I think, because you can't stand and bang. She stood and banged with Betch Koea, and it paid off. And that kind of led, I think
that's because Betch played into Ronda's game plan. She just went in and went guns blazing just like Ronda did.
Yeah, but then Ronda started fighting people that straight up know how to fight. And that's where the problem becomes, is when you want to step up into the striking game, and you've got people that have been doing it for 15 years longer than you have.
Well, I mean, Ronda has knockout power. She's done it before. I think if she had a more like Dwayne Ludwig.
Sorry. Oh, so go to Team Elevation maybe?
Why not?
That'd be the next move? I don't know. Do you think she's going to retire?
I think so. Well, I'd like to hope not. I'd hope her career doesn't end this way, because I know there's a lot of Ronda Rousey haters out there, but she's done what she's done, regardless of how she got there. I'd like to see her rebound and come back, and with some appropriate people behind her to make another run. It's not like she's super old. and she can get back everything she's lost. She's lost pretty much fucking everything.
Yeah, well, and then she put out there, quoted like, J.K. Rowling, I guess, or something like that. Something about, I didn't realize,
About being at the bottom and...
Something about the rock bottom and then knowing that that's where you start or something.
This is where I started to be great, like round 2.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't want her to go away because I think that if you go into the mode of thinking that Ronda Rousey is terrible and needs to retire and everything else, I think you're what's wrong with the fan base of the UFC, first of all, because you have to have respect. People get where they are, respect what they've done. There wouldn't be any women fighters right now, probably. She had to make her case to Dana White, and she made it, and now we're actually having the headliners. We have
that Fox Sports 1 pay-per-view card coming up.
Well, not necessarily. That's not the best example.
I know I'd pay $50 to watch Derek Lewis. And is he fighting Travis Brown?
Yeah. No, he is. You're right. Yeah.
So, I mean, there is a potential for Travis Brown to get knocked the fuck out again.
I don't know. But I just hate social media and the fact that nobody respects what you have done. And I understand as a fighter, you've got to have the mentality of, look, I understand. I've had some losses. It's time to turn it around. In order to turn it around, you got to start doing some things differently than what has damned you to start with.
Right.
So, anyway, best luck to her.
Yeah, the other fights on that card, Glover's on it. Jacare's fighting Tim Boach. Derek Lewis, Travis Brown, Poirier's on it.
What's all the Sunday stuff?
No, it's 209.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, wait. No, why not?
No, Sunday.
Okay. Let's hold off on 208 yet then. We'll get to that one. No, actually, we have fights coming up Sunday. Well, kind of.
Sunday. Especial. Penn and Rodriguez, January 15th, main card at 8.
15th? I thought that was a Sunday card.
Yeah. 15th.
Oh, yeah, the 15th is a Sunday. Well, I'll be damned. All right. Well, the UFC, in their infinite wisdom, has decided, even under the new ownership.
They know you don't like watching fights on Sunday.
Well, some of us have a damn day job, so, That's why I don't watch football, because football comes up on Sundays for NFL. I don't watch NFL because I got stuff to do. I'm not going to be up all hours of the night, watching football and being all wound up and having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to do it. But so we have UFC fights on Sunday. Now, thankfully, they usually put them on a little early. Usually they're East Coast cards. Sometimes they usually start at 6. This one's going to be a Phoenix card. Then what's the main card start time?
Fight Pass prelims start at 4:15.
Is that Mountain Time?
That is Mountain Time.
Okay.
Fox Sports 1 prelims start at 6. Main card at 8.
Okay. You want to do a rundown, or you just want to go to the meat of the matter and talk about BJ Penn?
Well, we got Court McGee fighting Ben Saunders.
Ben Saunders.
The brother of Wheaties Man, Sergio Pettis, fighting.
Who's he got?
John Moraga.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, Sergio Pettis does not look good. I like Moraga in that fight, actually.
It, doesn't really seem like, if this is the BJ Penn See You Later tour, they're not really doing a whole lot to beef the card up, in my opinion.
Well, it is a
Lozon's on it, so you're guaranteed violence.
You're gonna get ground violence, yeah. Who's he got?
He is fighting Marcin Held.
Okay, so that's a win for Lozon. Nothing against his opponent, but yeah, that's Joe Lozon. He's got to turn things around, kind of start building back again. Is what he needs to do.
Right.
Okay.
And Sergio's on a bit of a run. Can't win a fight with a finish to save his life, it seems, but he can certainly be finished.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then what we have then? The main event?
Let's see, main event. Yair Rodriguez v. BJ, the Walmart smiley face, Penn.
Is there? And this is being fought at what, featherweight?
Featherweight, 145.
Do you see a scenario where BJ Penn wins this fight?
Not really.
I mean, his farewell fight was against Frankie Edgar at 145.
I mean, they're throwing him up against a young guy who is going to be here long after BJ Penn is not.
No, he's the guy they're grooming to really kind of move big into that division. It
almost feels like a setup for BJ Penn to get the shit beat out of him. It really does.
I think you're right, actually.
Because, BJ Penn, killer boxer back when he was in his prime. That is one guy you didn't want to get punch bit.
No, his game was pretty much infallible until, I don't know, about, 2011?
Yeah, 2011.
2012?
2011 when because he fought Edgar in 2013 and then retired, I think.
2013, 2014. But he'd never looked worse. So right. I don't know. We'll see which BJ Penn we get. I don't like to see legends getting, having to go out on their shield, but
right.
This one's got all the feeling of that. So, but anyway, man, we're well over time. I think we covered everything appropriately for this week.
I think so.
We'll try to get back on track of doing Fridays, but if it requires us to do Thursdays once in a while, or maybe Saturdays, or whatever the case may be, so be it. We just appreciate those of you that do tune in and catch the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. And for you advertisers out there, we actually had one inquiry, wanted to know how they go about it. Go ahead. You can find us on Facebook at Season of Woe. Probably, I think that's still the Facebook page, right?
Is it?
Or did we change it over to Echoes of Ancients or Echoes of Asgard? Might be interesting because we have a whole lot of irons in the fire. So probably the appropriate means of reaching us would be through social media, as much as I hate it at times.
As much as you loathe it.
But yeah, you can.
No, it's still Season of Woe.
Season of Woe. You can Facebook, the / Season of Woe. That's where that one's going to be. So you can check that one out. Send us a message through there, and we can certainly get your rates. It's cheap. We're doing this pretty much almost virtually just because of the fact we enjoy.
Yeah, buy us a 6-pack. We'll get it done.
Yeah, we can do that. We can, maybe go ahead and see what you want to donate, and maybe put some bead in your hand. But nonetheless,
boy, everybody wins in 2017.
That's it. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We got.
And by the way,
yeah.
I just like tell my friends out there that want to judge me on my political choices, even though I didn't vote for him, I voted for Trump.
Yes.
Delete me now.
We almost got through it without Brandon stirring the pot, but
no, it had to happen. They use their platform for their bullshit. We got to use ours.
I don't know, but nonetheless, man, knock it off the political shit on social media, friends.
We're all friends, people.
I'm not going to hate anybody for doing their democratic duty of voting, casting a ballot in a general election. You've got your reasons, I've got mine, and we need to live together. So,
and the next 4 years may be terrible. So if we're all worried about who we voted for and who we don't want to be friends with, things are not going to get any easier.
All right, that's going to wrap up this podcast. Wow, on a philosophical note.
Yeah, right.
All right, well, folks.
Hope you learned something, people.
We'll check in with you again next week. Have yourself a good time, and hopefully we can catch up here by about, about the, let's see, we're heading in, what the hell is this weekend? About the 15th?
This is weekend of the 15th, yes.
Yeah, so we'll just see what we can crank out about the 21st, 22nd. In the meantime, enjoy yourselves. Thanks for keeping us in your thoughts, and we'll entertain again.
Good night.